Welcome to another edition of the Defo Show with Lubie here on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. No Defo today, just me. Got into a little bit of NBA talk as the Lakers and Nets continue to be topics of conversation, and the Miami Heat sit there, number one seed in the Eastern Conference, one of the deepest teams in the league, one of the more talented teams in the league, one of the teams that actually get along, unlike any other team in the league, with a coach that is probably the preeminent coach in the league right now in Eric Spoelstra. Yes, somehow still are forgotten, which may be to their credit and to their benefit other than their detriment. But I am curious if he will ever get their due. So check out my conversation about the NBA, who's failing and who's succeeding in those Miami Heat right here, the Defo Show with the Lubie on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. A lot more things than the tournament going on. NBA, yes, our Miami Heat, we originated out of South Florida. I know we're on around the world on the Ion channel. Again, just Google the Defo Show, Defo. But we originated out of South Florida. The Miami Heat, one of the quietest number one. I think they've been the number one seed for a long time now. I mean, the first month or so, the Bulls flirted with it. You had the Nets around, you had the Bucks. But since then, the Heat have been the number one seed for a long time. They still hold a 2-game lead. But all you hear about is the Lakers, the Nets, and yes, Kyrie Irving went for 60 2 days ago, but the Nets have been a disaster, even with Irving and Durant playing. The Lakers, oh my God. Like, it's funny, Defo's always been a Russell Westbrook fan. I don't hate Russell Westbrook. He puts up big stats, but he never helps. It's weird. Like, it's weird to call a guy who puts up triple doubles a ball hog because he gets assists, so obviously he's passing it, but the way he passes it is holding the ball to the end of the shot clock and then throwing it to a dude, and they may or may not score. And defensively, he's in. And he'll get rebounds, but it's very selfish. Like, he's never made anyone better. That's not who Russell Westbrook is. And he can't shoot. His shooting percentage, especially from three-pointers, sucks. So the Lakers picking him up made zero sense. Like, you have LeBron, you have Anthony Davis. You need to surround that team with shooters. The team that beat the Heat 2 years ago in the finals was a team that could shoot. You had Danny Green. Caruso wasn't horrible from long. You know, you had KCP, Kentavio Caldwell-Pope, who could shoot threes. LeBron every once in a while. Anthony Davis every once in a while. Like, you had enough guys that can shoot threes. That's what you need around those two guys. Russell Westbrook needs the ball in his hands, so he can't play with LeBron because that's how LeBron plays. And he's not a good three-point shooter. And he's not even a good, his mid-range shooters. And at some point, he's getting older. He's not going to be able to run over people to the lane. So that move made zero sense at the time. Most NBA people thought it made zero sense, and we've seen it's been an utter disaster. Westbrook's not only not starting, he isn't playing so much. Last night, Minnesota fans were fucking deriding him hardcore. Minnesota is a playoff team. They're better this year, but the Lakers should beat them. They lose by 20, 124 to 104. They're sitting in ninth. They're literally just 2.5 games up on the Spurs for the play-in round, like the play-in tournament. Like, that's a whole thing. And what's funny is people feel bad for LeBron. I don't. He's the GM. Like, he doesn't hide. He wanted Russell. The Lakers didn't want Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook didn't fit in any of their plans. LeBron wanted him. He loves the name. Okay. And now they're barely going to make the playoffs, if at all. And that whole thing's a sinking ship, if it hasn't already sunk. The other ship that's interesting, and I keep defending them because they got out to a really strong start without Klay Thompson, is the Warriors. Like, I don't know what the hell to do with the Golden State Warriors. Last night, the Warriors get rocked by the Boston Celtics, 110-88. The Warriors now are in third place. The Memphis Grizzlies are in second place in the NBA's Western Conference in the second seed, which is freaking weird. Like, look, they actually have a nice young team. And John Morant has turned into, I don't know where you rate him because every week it's a new top 5. But John Morant's top 5 most exciting player, and the dude's well-rounded. He does everything, and he can defend too. And he has that team where they win with or without him. The Grizzlies are legit. I just don't know how far they'll go being as young as they are, but I really believe in the Warriors, and I get it. I think Draymond Green's still out, and he is sort of the pace, the heart of that team. But they've won 4 of their last 10. They've lost 6 out of their last 10. They've now fallen to the 3rd seed. Out of their last 20-something games, they're horrendous. It's interesting to see what's going on in the NBA. Like, I know we don't talk a lot of NBA until like the playoffs, I guess, but it's because the regular season sort of, it's funny because there's a lot of young stars, Luka and Trey Young with the Hawks, and then you have the Heat and Heroes playing really well, and Bam has emerged, and Karl Anthony Towns with the T-Wolves has actually found his legs a little bit, and all that's you have LaMelo Ball with the Hornets, and like they're Dame Lillard's still out there. Like you have a ton of young guys in the league that should help the league thrive, but for some reason it's sort of like the regular season's the playoffs I hope will get more exciting. It's weird. There's no great team. There's no team to hate. So I feel like that sort of has like made the interest level, whatever. Like people seem to be more interested in NFL free agency and even Major League Baseball free agency. Like Freddie Freeman going to the Dodgers got more headlines than anything on the NBA court, and that's the one season going on. So, we'll talk more about it. The Heat are the number one seed. The Heat are strong. Were horrible the other night versus a really bad Pistons team, but found a way to win. This team, that bench was really interesting with a guy like Strus, Gabe Vincent, Martin, who's been out but can play like that. You're at 7. Now you have PJ Tucker back. You have Morris back. Hero's become maybe their best scorer. He's like 10th of a point away from leading the team in scoring. Butler's out there. Lowry hasn't played great, but he's there. You have Oladipo. Bam has emerged as like an offensive, aggressive sort of force. Like the Heat are legit. I don't know if they'll win it all, but as much as people, you don't want to play the Nets in the playoffs. You don't want to play the Heat. Like they're the deepest team in the league right now. They can go 12 deep, and every guy they can count on. And Spoelstra is coming to his own. I railed against Spoelstra earlier. Like that 2010 finals, they should have annihilated the Mavs. Like they were literally up 2-0, up 2-1, and his rotations were like he struggled with rotations early, but he is right now in the top 15 list ever as a coach, and he's earned it. Like it wasn't just the big three. Like since the big three, they've been back to the finals. They almost won a finals versus a Lakers team that was definitely better. They have done a lot more with this team. They've had so many injuries this year, and these guys that no one really heard of, even what they've done this year. Again, the guys I just mentioned. Spoelstra is probably the best coach in the league right now because Kerr with the Warriors does as good as his players allow him to. Popovich is a legend, but the Spurs have been since Duncan retired. Like the Heat every single year are good, no matter what they throw out there. And as much as that has to do with the front office, it has to do with Eric Spoelstra. And he's really become, right now, probably the best coach in the league. And I don't know what argument there is against that. We will turn more attention to the Heat, to the NBA, NFL free agency. Von Miller, which was supposed to be coming back to the Los Angeles Rams, the defending champions. No, he's going into the AFC East with the Dolphins. Signs a huge deal. It's like 6 years, 90. I don't know. I think it's 6 years, 120 million. The dude's in his 30s, and up until being with the Rams, no one knew he was in the league still. So he can play, Von Miller. Don't get me wrong, and he can give them a year where he looks like a beast. I mean, he played really well in the Super Bowl and the playoffs, but 6 years. I mean, I get in the NFL, it's not guaranteed. I mean, they're guaranteeing more and more money, but it's still his last 2-3 years won't be guaranteed. So I get it. It's really more like a 3-year contract, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know if even 1 year, Von Miller played really well because he had Aaron Donald there. And they had, that line is really strong in Los Angeles. The Bills defense overall is good, but Russo had a good year out of Miami with the Bills, but their defensive line's not great. Like Von Miller's getting that money to be the guy. Like, I don't know if he's still Denver Von Miller, but got a lot of money. We're seeing a lot of money. The Miami Dolphins. Brett Tessler, the agent to the Stars, has joined us each and every week. I think it's 10 years, maybe longer. Is the agent to Raheem Mostert. Mostert inks a deal with the Dolphins yesterday. Mostert set, I think, the NFC Championship rushing record under Mike McDaniel, the rushing game coordinator. Tessler this week, we asked because they had just signed Chase Edmonds, the Miami Dolphins, out of the Arizona Cardinals, and we asked what about Mostert because there were murmurs that Mostert was supposed to be coming here. Like he and McDaniel got along really well. McDaniel loves Mostert as much as Mostert loves running for McDaniel, and they just signed Edmonds. And Tessler said, well, they really get along well. They have a great relationship. We'll see. Just because they signed Edmonds does not mean they won't sign Mostert. We'll see. Like he said, we'll see like 2 or 3 times. And it was like, okay, I mean, he must know something we don't, but whatever. Well, comes out yesterday, Raheem Mostert signs a deal. Brett Tessler's agent. Brett Tessler's client signs a 1 year, $1 million deal to join the Miami Dolphins. So the Dolphins have stepped up their rushing attack. Yeah, they're not huge names, but they're 2 dudes. Edmonds, I think, was like top 10 in yards, top 5 or top 10 in yards per carry. I think he was like top 3 in yards before contact. So just on his own, I think after contact, he was like top 10. So I had never heard of Edmonds, but he did a really good job for Arizona last year. And Mostert, look, until he got hurt last year, he was the Niners' number one back. He had gone from practice squad to special teamer, being one of the better backs in the NFL. Like yards per carry, he was killing it. He is a brute. So those two guys, I'm sorry, and hopefully Duke stays on, but I'm sorry, Ahmed and Gaskin. Those are two guys that were fine in college. They're practice squad guys. I like that the Dolphins are getting guys that have started in the league, are legit starters in this league to run. They've done some interesting things in free agency. The one thing they haven't done that they need to do is get a tackle. Whether it's trade for Lyle Collins, murmurs came out yesterday that the Patriots are interested in him. No. Lyle Collins is one of the better right tackles in the game. You have a left-handed quarterback. Guess what the quote-unquote left tackle is? The right tackle. The left tackle is the important part on an offensive line because your quarterback's right? It's the blind side. Well, if your quarterback's left-handed, the blind side would be the right tackle. Okay, so Lyle Collins would be perfect for the Dolphins. They haven't made a move for him yet. Armstead from New Orleans is probably the prize free agent on the market still, and even in the beginning. He's going to cost a lot of money. I don't know. The Dolphins, I have actually liked their approach. They haven't spent big. They've spent smart. They've gotten a receiver. They've gotten some running backs. They've gotten an interior offensive lineman from Dallas, but they do need a tackle. And I'm hoping they finish off this free agency class by getting a tackle. We'll see what they do in the draft. Major League Baseball free agency has been interesting. The Hot Stove League, people don't talk about it like they once did, but it has been pretty interesting. The Freddie Freeman, the Braves sort of said, screw Freeman, we're going to get Olsen. They went younger, big contract to get a 28-year-old instead of, I think Freeman's like 32. Well, the Dodgers already have a freaking loaded-ass lineup, one of the better lineups in decades in baseball. Go and bring a guy who was either won the MVP last year or was MVP candidate and won the World Series for Atlanta, who hadn't won a World Series since the late 90s. Freddie Freeman still has a lot left in the tank. The Dodgers didn't need any help offensively. They're bringing Kershaw back, and now they add Freddie Freeman. And with Tatis Jr. having surgery, the NL West, I don't know, it may not be as interesting as it looked. The Giants actually had a good year last year, but the Dodgers are freaking loaded for bear. We will see what happens with baseball. Free agency is going on. Again, NFL free agency will steal the show a little bit, but the NBA is in season, and we're getting to April right when the playoffs start. March Madness, again, as I talked about earlier, tips off today, 12:15. You have Michigan, Colorado State. 8:35, well, Blake Chadwick. He joins us each and every year to break down the brackets. I am Mike Lubie Lubis. Thanks again to Dave Gurgles Gurgley for joining me on the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. We do that we try and do it each and every Thursday from about 7:30 to 8:30, the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. Hialeah Park plays Defo, has been going 2 years. I hadn't gone to until the last few years, and every time I go, it's a freaking blast, man. Like, that place is so amazing. It's beautiful. Gurg's talked about it. Like, sometimes you can just sit on the veranda, grab a cigar, grab a drink, amazing Cuban sandwich, and just look out. They have freaking flamingos there. They do the flying flamingos. It is a spectacular view. And then inside, so simulcasting, Champions, Poker Room. You have the casino itself is done really well. The staying gets lost there. But me and my wife, Shirley, and I have been in there and had a good time. Like, they do a really good job. They don't kill you. They don't knock you over the head with prices, which usually when you go to a place, you expect to pay, especially in Miami. Nope. Food, drinks, great prices, and they do a great job. Hialeah Park, thanks to them. Frankie, we love everyone down there. Dennis, Tessa, everyone out there. Thank you for supporting us. And each and every Thursday, we do the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. Today, our winner was Ron. It was a very lame game. Andy, I think, had one. Lenny had one, and Ron had two. So feel free to join in. You have a shot to win next week, 954-417-0070. This is the Defo Show. One, Jeff DeForest is on a plane now, I think. His flight's around 9-something to get to Atlantic City. He's going to take in all the action from the sports book for the tournament. I'm taking in all the action all weekend down here. No trivia for me tonight, but each and every Thursday I do trivia. At Landlubbers, they do give you that gift certificate for the trivia challenge. Look, wings have gotten a little bit pricey, but for the right wing, that's fun to say, it's worth it. Landlubbers wings, my favorite wing. I have been going there. Devo makes fun of me, but I've been going there my whole life. Like, I'm born and raised in Sunrise. It's quote unquote plantation, but it's, I think, 2 to 3 minutes from the house I grew up in. So I've been going to Landlubbers forever. Their wings are amazing. And what's cool about Alex Dufresne, one of the proprietors there, is he's a degenerate. So they have, I think, over 50 TVs. I don't know. Every inch there's a TV around the whole place. and every TV's on sports. And today with the tournament, you'll probably have every TV on the tournament of some kind, so you don't miss any of the action. Happy St. Patty's Day, everybody. They are a great place for St. Patty's Day. I know they do corned beef, cabbage, potatoes, the whole thing. I don't know if they do green beer, but I know they got Guinness, and they do a great job with that. And all the tournament action, Landlubbers will have you covered. I usually do trivia there every Thursday at about 6:30. We're off this week. We'll be back next Thursday at about 6:30. Coming up next, we're going to get into the tournament. I openly admit I haven't watched a lot of college basketball this year. That's why we keep Blake Chadwick around, because Blake has watched tons and tons and tons of college basketball. He is one of our college basketball gurus. We do The Professor. We have him on every Friday. His top 5 is hysterical, but he knows his college basketball. Blake Chadwick as well lives and loves college basketball. So we're going to have him on. We have him on each and every year to sort of break down the brackets, what he's looking for, what he's thinking, what players should we be looking for, what teams may be disappointing, who have we not heard of that by the end of the tournament we will know. All those questions will be answered after we talk with Blake Chadwick. The brackets, remember, your brackets I think are due by 12, so if you want to fill out a bracket, get it done. I'm doing one with Believe. Again, we do a podcast, exclusive content with Believe Network. Yesterday, our guest was Charles Davis, the partner of the number 2 CBS NFL team, Iron Eagle, Charles Davis. We talked with him yesterday about NFL free agency, about the upcoming NFL draft, some of the moves going on around the league, the whole Brian Flores, Stephen Ross debacle. Today, our guest is Brandon Lang, handicapper extraordinaire who loves to push the envelope. He's our guest, Believe.com, search after hours. Also, check out our content, South Florida content on the 5 Reasons Sports Network, and each and every day, Defo and me, right here, Ion Channel. Thank you to Jack, Amy, Brad, everyone there at Ion Channel. If you want to check out everything we got going on Ion Channel, just Google The Defo Show, DEFO. No Defo. He's on his way to Atlantic City. You do have me. So, yes, this is Lubie. No Defo here, The Defo Show with Lubie, without Defo, on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Talked a little bit about the NBA season. Yes, this is probably my favorite time of the year because I love March Madness. You have NFL free agency, NFL draft coming. You have Major League Baseball free agency. You have the NBA. Now, the Dolphins have been active in free agency, and I'm actually excited for what they've done. And supposedly, news is they're in talks with La'el Collins, the right tackle for the Dallas Cowboys, which would be perfect because when you have a left-handed quarterback, like I was just saying, when you have a left-handed quarterback, your right tackle is your quote-unquote left tackle. It's the guy that blocks your blind side, and that's what you need with a left-handed quarterback. Is the most important position is the right tackle. La'el Collins, one of the better right tackles in the game. Also, Connor Williams, the guy they just signed out of Dallas. They've played next to each other for years in Dallas. A big part of offensive line is symmetry is working together. So that'd be cool if you have those two guys who've already been a success in Dallas coming over to Miami. That'd be huge. The Dolphins haven't spent big. They've spent smart, something they hadn't done in years past. Mike McDaniel has a system that he's going to run, and he's getting people to fit that exact system. And that's something on offense they may have never had since Marino. I don't know. So I'm actually intrigued by the moves they've made. I'm also intrigued by the Miami Heat. The fact that they are number 1 in the East, have been number 1 in the East most of the season, and getting no attention. It's fine. I mean, this group doesn't seem to really care. It's just funny that the Lakers are a disaster and almost out of the playoffs. The Nets are a disaster, almost out of the playoffs. And those are the 2 teams people seem to talk about the most. The Sixers are good, but even with Harden and Embiid, the rest of that team's eh. So I'm not scared of the Sixers. Bucks are defending champions, really good, but they've lost something from their bench. The Heat are as good as anyone in the NBA, and no one ever talks about them. So I just find that funny. I'm sure we'll talk a lot more about that. No more Defo this week, but you will get me, The Defo Show with Lubie. Check us out tomorrow. Check us out, our exclusive content on Believe.com. Search after hours. Today we talk with Brandon Lang as a tournament started today at 12:15. We'll give you your last second ideas for what to do with the bracket. If you're a degenerate, if you're a gambler, you want to dabble a little bit, Brandon has a ton of picks, and Brandon does a great job with that. So check out Brandon Lang. Believe.com, search after hours. And also every morning, 7 to 9, live, The Defo Show with Lubie. Ion Channel, just Google The Defo Show, DEFO, and check me out and Defo out right here each and every day. The Defo Show with Lubie on the 5 Reasons Sports Network.
Play the ponies in style at Champions, the outstanding simulcasting room at beautiful Hialeah Park. Yes, the grand old lady of thoroughbred racing has never been more vibrant, and you can wager on the races from the top tracks around the country while enjoying a cocktail at the Brass Rail Bar or any of the fine food served throughout the facility. If poker is your game, you're covered in style, and you can play all your favorite Vegas-style games, including blackjack, craps, and roulette, in Hialeah Park's sizzling hot casino. Get a player's card when you walk through the door for all kinds of generous amenities, including our favorite, free play, when you come out to the ultimate casino and entertainment destination, Hialeah Park.
These days, we're all looking for comfort anywhere we can find it. Thank goodness for Landlubbers Raw Bar and Grill in the Plantation location, because they are making sure you are as comfortable as possible. First of all, they're not only open for delivery and pickup. All you have to do is go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both pickup and free delivery. Their hours have changed a little bit. Monday through Thursday from 3:30 to 10. And Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 11:30 to 10. You're going to have the best wings in the world. You're going to have a great burger. You're going to have their amazing soups. Again, Landlubbers, Raw Bar, and Grill. It's nice and easy. Just go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both your pickup and free delivery. Thank goodness for Landlubbers for making you always feel right at home.